What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Rewind Releases. My name is Will, and today we're going to be talking about James Gunn's new film in the DCU, Superman.
Superman. The most powerful being on planet Earth.
The movie that is considered Snyder fans' worst nightmare, James Gunn's Superman is the first film to kick off the new and improved DCU. And if you're like me, who enjoyed this film, you'll get comments saying you're a loser wannabe fan and that your taste in movies suck. The internet wars rage on with whining man babies who act like the world is gonna end. I miss when movies were a way to escape, but now it's about $40+ fuckable popcorn buckets and $18 ticket prices. I want to die. First and foremost, I want to say this movie I've seen twice. I really enjoyed it. I mean, I won't lie, I did tear up a little bit. I smiled throughout the whole film. And you know, with ticket prices being so expensive, I really don't go back to the movies that often. I don't usually go see a movie twice unless I really like it. And this film, I really enjoyed. The one thing I'm really happy about is the fact that this movie just throws us right into the world. It's been 300 years, superheroes exist, all of them are established. We don't need like these origin stories of all these different characters to build up the world. We're thrown right in the middle. And for the longest time, I think that was my biggest problem, like with Marvel, especially with the DCEU, is the fact that we had to introduce every new character with their own like origin story solo movie.
New phase.
We're going to be launching the DCU. It's a lot of responsibility on our shoulders.
In that same basic sort of shot, start the drag.
Is David Cornsweet the best Superman we've ever had? And my answer is, yeah, I think so. I mean, I still need to sit on this film. I still need like a little time to watch it again and see a little bit more because with, you know, Christopher Reeve, he had 4 movies. You know, I'm actually reading his biography right now. I mean, just in case you thought I was lying, I'm literally reading his book right now. I don't know what the stain is. Oh. It's a great book. I really recommend it. It dives really deep into, you know, his personal life. It's just very inspiring overall.
When I first met him, that he would fly.
Doing things with my dad. It was all about activity and action. Riding bikes, playing soccer, skiing.
Carpe diem, Al. My dad was very competitive, and he didn't necessarily slow down.
We said goodbye, and he gave this wave. That was the last time I saw him on his feet.
I gotta say, there's so many more positives than negatives that I have about this movie. I think James Gunn is amazing. He's never done a bad movie, in my opinion. And the fact now that he is the co-CEO of the DCU, the superhero movies that we're getting now are very inspiring and positive. And I think that's what we really need right now. I have to say, I think David Cornsweet is amazing. I think he was born to play this role. Just like Christopher Reeve, I definitely saw a lot of influences from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. They grabbed a lot of different inspirations. It's definitely like the Silver Age Superman. His overall vibe was just so warm and positive. This felt like its own entity. It felt like its own character. It was so entertaining. It was such a beautiful thing because I won't lie to you, I teared up a little bit. I really did. This was a movie I've been waiting for since we got the first trailer for it. And yes, that might make me a little weird for, you know, tearing up to a superhero movie, but I just felt like this movie was so inspiring. Everything that happened in this, it felt like a comic book movie. We finally got a comic book movie that felt like a comic book movie. If that makes sense. Yeah.
It was important to really put the best foot forward with DC and DC Studios, and that was to start with Superman.
Superman is the OG of superheroes, and it had been over a decade since there was a standalone Superman movie.
Gotta say, Guy Gardner, I love Nathan Fillion. If you've been watching my videos, you know I'm a huge The Rookie fan. Insert clip here. Insert clip.
License and registration, please.
And I'm really excited to see Lanterns, to see him in that world. He's perfect for that because he's just such an asshole. And Nathan Fillion is probably one of the nicest guys in the world. I mean, obviously I don't know him personally, so I can't say he is the nicest guy, but from what I've seen, he seems pretty nice.
We're already here. We're already in a world that knows about Superman. It's not our world, which is something we've been sold many times, which is what would happen if Superman were real and came to our world. But this is more so, what if we existed in his world?
Mr. Terrific is great. I don't really know Mr. Terrific that well. I just know from like the animated shows and movies I've seen him in, he's one of the smartest men in the world. But just from the performance I saw Mr. Terrific in this film, I gotta say, one of the standouts. I mean, you have Guy Gardner and you have Mr. Terrific and Superman. Those three, I think, were the main component of what made me really, really enjoy this film. And the way they banter back and forth, just so entertaining. And the comedy never felt forced.
Hey! Quit messing around!
I'm not messing around. I'm doing important stuff.
Gotta say, love Krypto. Very much like Guardians of the Galaxy, where Rocket was the main character. I think in some way, James Gunn kind of made Krypto the secret main character, because you have the Guardians where you think Chris Pratt is the main character of the Guardians. In reality, it was Rocket. In this, Superman's the main character, but the whole inspiration of why James Gunn wrote this film and agreed to even make this film was because of his dog Ozu, who he had adopted, who was just this insane dog who just ripped up his laptop, ripped up his house. And much like in the film, you see Krypto just being an absolute psychopath.
You. If not today, then
Drop him!
Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor in this, I gotta say, I think he's one of the best Lexes we've had so far. Nothing against, Michael Rosenbaum. I grew up on Smallville. Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown is probably one of the greatest Lex Luthors who has voiced the character of Lex, but I feel like Nicholas Holt's performance as Lex was perfect.
I think the thing that jumped out to me was that it was a James Gunn script and his style of writing. You can kind of instantly imagine what this film becomes. Having seen a lot of his work and loved it, reading the script, I was like, oh, fantastic. It's James Gunn's take on a Superman story and world, and all these exciting characters and ideas that he's focused in on from the comics. So that's what was thrilling about it.
You understood the anger and frustration that he had towards Superman. He just wants to destroy this superhero that he feels is destroying humanity, where Superman can just do everything so easily. And he feels that everything is being undermined by Superman's abilities and strengths, and I just thought that was so powerful. One scene where he literally is playing Russian roulette with the falafel guy, using this one guy that Superman had just met like a couple times to bait Superman into telling him what he needed to know. You see the lengths that Lex will go to accomplish what he needs to, even if it means taking a life.
please. Let's try another question, Joey Superman.
Luthor, don't do this.
Who raised you as a child?
I believe in you, Superman. No. Don't tell him
Gotta say, loved Metamorpho. Metamorpho's whole outfit body is all practical. Imagine sitting in that chair and having to put all that on every day would just be insane.
We're all having the best time filming this movie. There's a camaraderie that you really don't get very often, and especially on big things where a lot of that stuff just gets lost in the weeds. James prioritizes it. He makes sure that everyone is tapping into that kind of heart that is in the script, that's in the movie. And you can feel it. You can feel it that everyone is kind of pitching in to bring this wonderful energy.
Even the flying, a lot of the flying sequences were done on wires with the volume that they use a lot in Star Wars to make it look like Superman's actually flying. Gotta say, that is one of my favorite parts of this movie, is the flying sequences. One part where he's literally flying so fast, and it's a one shot where you see him going through different like weather patterns. He's hitting rain, snow, and it's just the way it's shot worked really well with the overall vibe of what this Superman movie was trying to do.
I felt like there was a place for color, the old school look of some of these science fiction elements that had been missing from movies. It was a very simple thing that wasn't there.
James loves these universes, and that kind of energy comes from the top.
Let's go through the actions one time. Yeah, that's it.
And I gotta say, I love the dynamic between Lois and Clark. I gotta say, Rachel Bosniak, the lady who played Lois. I can't remember her name at the top of my head.
Lois Lane is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist who is a star reporter at the Daily Planet. I love that she's relentless in her life. She's relentless about her pursuit of the truth. She's relentless about the things that she cares about. She's passionate.
I think she's amazing. She really embodies the whole idea of the character of Lois by being persistent, trying to get the story. Man of Steel and BVS and even Justice League. Lois just becomes kind of the side character that just kind of is there. With Man of Steel, with Henry Cavill and Butterface, redhead, whatever. Sorry. I just never believed. I never believed their chemistry. I just never did. The only time I ever really felt the chemistry was actually there was the first Superman with Christopher Reeve and the actress who played Lois.
Let's start with your vital statistics. Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, I don't. But if I did, Miss Lane, you'd be the first to know about it.
That first scene you actually see them banter is during the interview that, you know, Lois has with Clark as Superman.
In effect, you illegally entered a country.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman. Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of the United States.
I wasn't representing anybody except for me and doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
Just the energy and the believability was there. She has her own story that is happening. She pushes through all the bullshit, and I think she's amazing. I think by far she is the best Lois we've gotten in a very, very long time. Lois is his bridge to humanity, besides his parents. And I really gotta say, I loved Pa Kent and Ma Kent. I mean, that one scene with Pa Kent.
Your choices, Clark. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Just the performances in this film are absolutely amazing. Yeah, everybody brought their A game. Everybody.
I was very afraid about finding the right Superman, and luckily I saw David reading on the first day, and I was like, holy God, that's amazing. And I think that, you know, you see him in that scene in the movie, and you realize this guy's just a fantastic actor, and he also just happens to look and act and sound a lot like Superman.
Oh, I totally forgot even about Hawkgirl. Oh my God. Hawkgirl was great too, don't get me wrong, but I didn't really like the screeching. I gotta say, I didn't like the screeching at all. I didn't like it. The fact that in Man of Steel you don't see him save anybody, in this movie, you see Superman try his very best to save everybody he possibly can. An iconic shot where he grabs her and saves her from all the pipes. See him save some lady, he saves a squirrel, and he even tries to save the kaiju. But then, you know, the Justice Society or whatever the fuck their name is, I forget what their name is.
What's it called again?
Justice Gang.
No.
We're not called that.
Come in and they just basically kill it. And you see Superman being like, there could have been so many different ways to stop him. We didn't have to kill him. We could have put him in an intergalactic zoo. And they're like, nah, sorry.
Come on.
Excuse me. Wow. I gotta say the overall story, I do feel like there was a lot thrown in, but it never took away from the film itself. Like, I never felt like it was very convoluted. I was having too much information thrown at me. Never felt like that. There's a lot of sci-fi to it where there's like this whole prison that Lex made in between space and reality. Like, crazy, you know? Crazy.
Whoa, an anti-proton river.
Dude, the funniest thing I think in this movie was Lex uses all these monkeys to basically hate on Superman on the internet. I think that was insane. Just, he's like, those motherfuckers, they're the ones doing the hashtags. Hashtag Superman sucks. Like, only a monkey could do that.
Just my monkey bots here farming outrage 24/7, trashing you online.
Hashtag super shit.
At the end, we see Supergirl, who is the owner of Krypto. Gotta say, Krypto, he's a when he sees Supergirl, he just slams her on the ground. He's like bashing her head against rocks. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm really excited to see Supergirl. I feel like it's going to have the same energy, the same type of hopefulness that Superman has. She remembers Krypton, and she's basically drinking herself through her depression and watching this character grow through this trauma and this depression that she's going through. So I'm really excited about that.
Come on. Thanks for watching him, bitch.
I just gotta say, this movie is fucking amazing, and I'm so looking forward to the rest of the DCU. I think eventually the DCU is going to be the top dog over Marvel. I just gotta say it, because you gotta think of it like this. James Gunn worked with Marvel. He knows all the secrets. He knows how all that shit works. And now he can take that information. He knows what works and what doesn't work. Which, again, he has it all planned out for the next 10 years of his Gods and Monsters phase 1. I really think he's playing this really close to the chest. He's being really smart with his decision making. They won't greenlight a movie until the script is absolutely perfect. And I think that's the smartest choice, because Marvel, they're just banging shit out. They're just like, yeah, I guess that'll work. Yep, let's go. My biggest question is, how can you top Secret Wars? You're taking old and new characters of the entire MCU and putting it in one movie. What do you do after that? Let me know in the comments if you think there's a storyline that will be bigger than Secret Wars down the line, or do you think DC is actually going to become the top dog within the next 10 years? If I were to give a rating to James Gunn's Superman, I would honestly give it a 9.5 out of 10.
You have a dog?
But hey, that's my review of Superman. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below and let me know what you guys thought of my video. And also, let me know if you think David Cornsweet is the best Superman. And do you think James Gunn's DCU is gonna be top dog in the next 10 years over Marvel? I'm kind of curious. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you guys want to send me some questions that I'll read at the end of my videos, you just send them to my email at RewindReleases@gmail.com. It's totally free and you'll get a shout out. So it's kind of a win-win. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one. Bye-bye.